Good morning, everyone. I'm Jessica Layton.
And I'm Christine Romans. We are in for Joe and Savannah.
We begin this morning with the intensifying efforts in the search for our beloved colleague Savannah Guthrie's missing 84-year-old mother, Nancy. As the search enters its sixth day now, the FBI is offering a $50,000 reward for any information that leads to an arrest. It comes as authorities shared a new timeline of her disappearance.
The Guthrie family is still pleading for answers. Overnight, Savannah shared this heart-wrenching new video of her brother, Cameron, urging whoever may have taken their mom to get in contact.
This is Cameron Guthrie. I'm speaking for the Guthrie family. Whoever is out there holding our mother, we want to hear from you. We haven't heard anything directly. We need you to reach out, and we need a way to communicate with you so we can move forward. But first, we have to know that you have our mom. We want to talk to you, and we are waiting for contact.
NBC News correspondent Liz Kreutz sat down with Pima County Sheriff Chris Nanos yesterday for the latest on the investigation.
Authorities revealing several new and potentially critical details about the abduction of Nancy Guthrie.
Right now, we believe Nancy is still out there.
The update from the sheriff and FBI coming just hours after that emotional video Savannah posted with her siblings pleading for her mother's safe return.
Everyone is looking for you, Mommy, everywhere. We will not rest. Your children will not rest until we are together again.
For the first time, the sheriff's department outlining a rough timeline for Nancy's disappearance. They say after dinner at her daughter's house Saturday night, Nancy was brought home by a family member at 9:48 p.m. At 9:50, her garage door closed. Then at 1:47 a.m., the doorbell camera disconnected. At 2:12, software detected movement on a camera. And at 2:28, Nancy's pacemaker app disconnected. The sheriff tells me they haven't been able to access any home surveillance video, and they currently have no suspect or person of interest.
Is this a professional abduction? It seems like they did not make any mistakes.
I can't say that. I don't know. As we move, we'll learn if they made mistakes. I don't know of a perfect crime.
The FBI also addressing the reported ransom note sent to 3 different news outlets, saying it referenced an Apple Watch Nancy owned and floodlights at her house, information that's publicly available. He also said the note has a deadline.
The ransom note that was distributed to the media did make a demand for 5 p.m. today. And if a transfer wasn't made, then I think a second demand was for next Monday.
The special agent in charge says they're still investigating the legitimacy of the ransom note and that there's been no contact so far with any potential abductor.
In a normal kidnapping case, there would be contact by now.
Authorities arresting a man for sending a hoax ransom demand to Savannah's sister and brother-in-law.
To those imposters who are trying to take advantage and profit from this situation, we will investigate and ensure you are held accountable for your actions.
The FBI now offering a $50,000 reward for any information that leads to Nancy or an arrest. For now, the investigation continues after 5 days of searching, waiting, and praying.
What gives you hope that Nancy is still out there?
Wow. You have to have hope. You have to have hope. You can't, come on, this is somebody's mom. We're going to find her. And hopefully she's alive when we do.
And just minutes after that alleged 5 p.m. deadline passed from that reported ransom note, Savannah posted another video on her Instagram, this one of her brother Cameron, pleading to whomever may have potentially taken their mother, saying, please open up a line of communication with us. The FBI says if they are able to do that, that they are prepared, that they have crisis negotiators here in Tucson ready to assist the family. Back to you.
All right, Liz, thank you.
And for more on this, let's bring in NBC law enforcement analyst and retired ATF special agent in charge, Jim Kavanaugh. Jim, good morning. We want to first talk about the video that we just saw from Savannah's brother. Their mom has been missing for almost a week now, and this plea indicates that they have not heard anything from the people involved in the disappearance. So what does the video tell you, and what does it say that there has been no open line of communication yet?
Well, first on the video, Jessica, it's clear, it's succinct, it's to the point, it's short, it's call us, contact us, we want to move forward. So it's very good. Excellent job by the family there to get the word out. And no doubt the abductors have seen it. They're closely monitoring the media, you can be sure. The timeline, we're still in this critical period because, we just had the the video put out by Savannah a couple of days ago reaching out. And we have, kind of a bifurcated path here. We have this hostage demand that nobody knows if it's valid, that came into the local CBS station and to TMZ, but there's no way to prove in that it's real. That's the dilemma that the family explained in their video. We don't know if this is you. There's many voices. This could be anybody. So that's one track. Now, if that was actually a real demand, they flubbed it, and they have to restart. So that's where the timeline has to begin again after the family's first video. And if it's not them, then, the plea to communicate has been reinvigorated after the family video. So that's the period we're in right now.
Yeah, that must be so frustrating for both the family and investigators, I'm sure. We have this new timeline. Police have shared this new timeline of the night of Nancy's disappearance. It shows gaps in time where it appears a suspect may have been in this home before her pacemaker disconnects from her iPhone in the morning at 2:28 a.m. What stands out to you, sir, in this timeline?
Well, being an old police uniformed patrolman, I can tell you that hour in the morning, there's not many people moving around in any community like this desert suburb in Pima. So, there's nobody out. There's the patrol cars. There's a few people going to work. There's a couple of people returning from a club, and it's not crowded. So the cell tower information that the FBI can glean of all the phones that were in that area is critical. But second, they know that time is tight. When that doorbell camera was removed, and then the activity with the Apple Watch, they can go out a couple of miles and sweep cameras, maybe 5 miles from businesses. Who's out there?
Right.
Grab those images while they're fresh, because who's out there? That's what they got to break down.
All right, Jim, thank you so much for your insight on that this morning. And a reminder, if you have any information on Nancy's disappearance, please call this tip line on your screen, 1-800-CALL-FBI.
All right, switching gears, President Trump rolling out a new initiative aimed at lowering drug costs for Americans. The president unveiled the new Trump RX website on Thursday during an event at the White House.
The administration says the new online platform will make medications more affordable. Mr. Trump tied the effort to his administration's most favored nation policy, which is aimed at pressuring drug companies to charge U.S. patients the same prices paid in other countries. Take a listen to what the president had to say.
Dozens of the most commonly used prescription drugs will be available at dramatic discounts for all consumers throughout a new website. Americans have long been paying the highest drug prices anywhere in the world, while other countries often paid pennies on the dollar for the exact same drugs.
NBC News reporter Gary Grumbach joins us now to talk about this and more. And so, Gary, this is all supposed to be sort of a portal, right? So that the Trump RX website is directing people who don't have health insurance, people who are paying out of pocket, directing them to the drug companies for the best price.
Yeah, the president is joining the pharmaceutical business here a little bit. The administration is hoping for this to be a cheaper option, but it's unclear if it actually is going to be because of what you just mentioned there. The fact that 92% of Americans already have insurance, and it may be actually cheaper for them to use insurance instead of this Trump RX. So this is clearly targeted towards people who either don't have insurance or are willing to pay out-of-pocket cash for these kind of drugs. As of this morning, we just looked, 43 different types of drugs are on the market.
And this all comes as lawmakers are struggling, we know, to make progress in those negotiations over funding, especially for the Department of Homeland Security, which oversees ICE. It's set to run out in a week. So, Gary, what's the latest there?
So top Democrats in Congress have come up with 10 demands that they want to happen before they vote to approve DHS funding. That includes banning agents from wearing masks when they're out in the field, putting an end to those roving immigration raids that we've seen. A lot of those are racially charged, and equipping all agents with body cameras. That part is already in the works a bit. Republicans, however, are not at all thrilled with these proposals. Here's what John Thune had to say.
Republicans warned Democrats repeatedly that such a short timeline would be challenging, if not impossible. Worse yet, Mr. President, not only insisting on all the demands, most of which are, as they know, very unrealistic and unserious, but perhaps even more important than that, at least as of right now, not even willing to engage in a negotiation.
Funding for DHS runs out in 1 week, guys.
And Gary, the Trump administration also took a big step toward making it easier to fire some 50,000 government employees. Why? And what are critics saying about it?
Yeah, the Office of Personnel Management put out what's called a final rule this week, allowing the administration to expand the universe of people who work for President Trump's priorities, who are specifically political, for example, appointees. And the move allows them to fire administration employees at will, which means 50,000 employees could now be considered at will. It means they wouldn't be able to appeal their removal from the federal government to places like the Merit Systems Protection Board, which is a place that deals with employee removals. The federal workforce advocacy groups say this is absolutely not right and breaking all kinds of rules across the federal government. Guys.
All right, Gary, thank you so much.
Staying in Washington now, we have got more from NBC's exclusive interview with President Trump. News Now anchor Tom Yamas pressed Mr. Trump about AI technology and how it's impacting the job market. Here's what he had to say about that and more.
Let's talk about AI. Have you ever used ChatGPT, Claude?
I haven't really, but I know all about it. Let me just talk about AI.
Yeah.
AI is a big deal. AI is going to be maybe the biggest thing, bigger than the internet, bigger than anything else. We are leading China by a lot. We are leading everybody by a lot. They're all building their factories here.
There's no doubt you are the president who's ushering in the AI revolution, but this is happening on your watch. If AI affects humanity in a negative way, is that on you? Because some of these CEOs of AI companies say we need guardrails. This could get out of control. Does that worry you?
Everything's on me as president. Everything's on me. I can say this, it'll be the greatest jobs producer. It'll be the greatest military producer. It'll be the greatest medical producer. There'll be tremendous good. And there'll be probably some bad, too.
Well, it's killing a lot of jobs. And what do you say to Americans who are going to lose their jobs to AI?
It's going to create a lot of jobs.
But right now, it's taking jobs in a lot of ways. It's taking jobs from companies like Amazon. What would you say to those Americans?
But it hasn't really started. You know, these major plants haven't even been built. What you're going to
but Mr. President, AI has already started to take jobs because the technology is there.
So we have, it's just announced, more jobs right now occupied in the United States of America than at any time during its existence, 250 years.
And we pressed the president about his lawsuit against the IRS.
There's a new lawsuit by you and your family that you're suing the IRS for $10.5 billion for leaking your tax documents.
Yeah.
Is this a good use of taxpayer money?
You can't leak documents. And any money that I win, I'll give it to charity, 100% to charities. Charities that will be approved by government or whatever. I have another lawsuit with the United States. I sued because they broke into Mar-a-Lago.
But that's taxpayer money. It's going to get taken out of the system. I know it's going to charity, you're going to say.
And I've won that case. I mean, they broke in, the FBI illegally, Biden and his group. It wasn't Biden. He didn't know what he was doing. It was a group of very smart radical left people. They're very smart. They've lost their way.
Right.
And they broke into Mar-a-Lago. They broke into my home. They went through
they had warrants.
My wife's drawers. Yeah. They went through, that's a double meaning. They went through Barron's, my son's, everything. They went through the whole house. Hundreds of people. They went in with guns. They went in, guns
How
would have been ablazing.
So how would this
wait.
work?
I brought a lawsuit. Essentially, the lawsuit's been won. I guess I won a lot of money.
How would this work, though? Scott Bessent's the head of the IRS.
I know. What I would
Pam Bondi is the head of the Justice Department. They're going to defend the IRS against you. You're their boss.
Well, there's never been anything like it, in all fairness.
So are you going to tell them to pay you?
Don't forget, I sued as a private citizen because I sued between terms.
You're going to tell them to pay you, though? Because you're their boss.
Well, what I would do, tell them to pay me, but I'll give 100% of the money to charity. I don't want any of the money.
You take it out of the system. A couple more questions here.
No, I'm putting it back into the system.
Yeah.
If I give money to American Cancer Society, I will give 100% of the money away to charity. I don't want any of it.
$30 trillion debt, and we're going to take $10 billion out of the system?
Well, I mean, you give it away anyway. They give away a lot of money.
And later, the president revealing more about that secret weapon U.S. forces used during the mission to capture authoritarian Venezuelan leader Nicolas Maduro.
You talked about the weapon, the discombobulator. What is that?
Discombobulator. Well, I'm not allowed to talk about it.
But what does it do?
Let me just tell you, you know what it does? None of their equipment works. That's what it does. Everything was it was my name. I'm very proud of the name. Everything was discombobulated. It was, practically a shot wasn't. They were ready.
Right.
And when we came, they couldn't do anything.
You saw this on the video. You could tell.
Tom, it discombobulated everything.
Nothing worked, even including humans.
Well, let's put it this way.
Out.
We lost no equipment in a very strong, and they're good fighters, great fighters. In a very bad environment, it was a military base, the biggest in South America. Because the house was in a base in in a very, very tough environment, we lost no men and we lost no equipment.
And that was Tom Yamas speaking with President Trump. You can catch more of the interview this Sunday during the Super Bowl pregame on NBC and Peacock.
All right, Wall Street on edge this morning, trying to stabilize after the stock market closed sharply lower on Thursday.
Yeah, the market had its worst three-day streak since last April, led in part by a rout in tech stocks. And in the crypto market, Bitcoin plunged to its lowest value in more than a year.
Show favorite Caleb Silver joins us now to break it all down. He's the editor-in-chief of Investopedia and the chief business editor at People Inc. Caleb, good morning. Okay, so a tough 3 days. The irony here is that all this enthusiasm over AI spending drove stocks to record highs, and then Anthropic comes out, and basically there's concern that progress in AI could hurt big whole sectors like software.
Yeah, that's the big question. Are we building something through this construction of this AI infrastructure that will eventually take our jobs and potentially destroy the economy when it's supposed to be this productivity tool? So there's that. But there's also the fact that a lot of these firms, and we're right in the middle of what we call earnings season, our favorite time of year when companies are showing their report cards, how much have you spent, what are you going to spend, what do profits look like? They're spending a lot of money, but the profits aren't necessarily coming back fast enough for investors to say, oh, this might work out. Plus, they're using a lot of debt to build all this AI infrastructure, and a lot of this feels really wobbly and a lot of frothy to some people. That's why you're seeing the big sell-off in the stock market.
There's a lot of talk about the crypto market right now. Why has Bitcoin plummeted?
Yeah, well, Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies are the ultimate risk asset. They're not really backed by anything except belief. We have this saying in the business, Christine knows it well, it's the greater fool theory. What does the next fool think it's worth? And when it's not backed by anything like gold or the dollar, it is a very risky asset. You've seen a lot of institutional investors who've been buying Bitcoin, selling Bitcoin. You've seen a lot of institutional investors in big banks who've been buying it on leverage, saying that if it hits a certain price point on the way down, they have to sell it. So a lot of redemptions going on right now. So it's one of those things that could free fall. But if anybody's been watching Bitcoin for the past 15 years, this 40% crash, this is really par for the course.
Yeah, look, it is a speculative vehicle, and I feel really bad for like mom and pop investors who somebody told them they need to have 5% of their retirement in it because this has been a bad move for them. Let's talk about people with their 401ks. I mean, a reminder, stocks have gone up a lot over the past 5 years. What should somebody worried about retirement be thinking right now?
Yeah, if you're a couple, 3, 4, 5 years out from retirement and you have a lot of money in the stock market, you should be diversified, and you should have been diversifying all along. That means having some money in cash. That means having potentially some other assets besides stocks. That means potentially a little bit of gold, because gold has been on a record run here. But this is the point of diversification. And volatility in the stock market is also the price we pay for those returns. As you mentioned, it's been a fabulous 3 years. We're in the 4th year of a bull market. I know it seems rocky right now, but if you've been a long-term investor, you've done fabulously well.
Well, we got to talk about jobs, too. A new report by outplacement firm Challenger Gray and Christmas shows that employers announced more than 108,000 layoffs in January alone. Highest since 2009, and we know what happened then. What's going on here?
Yeah, a lot of it is based on the 3 companies. UPS is among them. FedEx is another. So there are big layoffs at those companies, which staffed up so much after the pandemic. And a lot of companies are thinning their workforce. Some of that is AI. Some of that is the fact that they're not seeing as much profitability as they used to. So reducing the workforce makes their profits look better. And as investors, you're looking for profit growth. So you're seeing companies thin down a little bit, trying to get more revenue and more profit per employee, another sign of the times with the onset of AI and all this concerns about productivity, what it means for jobs.
Well, and people are a lot more productive, but Diane Swank, who is somebody that we both, is a chief economist who we both have known for many, many years, she's worried we're in a jobless boom. She thinks the economy could just explode this year, but the jobs won't come with it.
Yeah, and if you look at the headline numbers like GDP, which measures spending by individuals, consumers, but also businesses, it looks good. But when you look at the surface, We're not adding a lot of jobs. We're not getting a jobs report today for last month. That's going to be delayed a little bit. But if you look at the trend, we're not adding a lot of jobs, and we're hearing more and more about layoffs, so the concern is warranted. That said, the unemployment rate is still around 4.4%.
Thanks for coming by on a Friday morning, Caleb.
My pleasure.
Nice to see you.
Now let's get a check on your Morning News Now weather. This morning, millions of Americans are waking up to some brutal winter weather as we deal with another wicked winter blast.
Yeah, nearly 100 million people are under extreme cold alerts, with another 50 million dealing with strong winds from the Great Lakes through the Mid-Atlantic and into the Northeast. The blast of frigid air will bring a burst of snow to some areas, followed by a rapid freeze-up and harsh, gusty winds. The wintry conditions could cause flight delays and some slippery travel, folks. Meteorologist Angie Lastman tracking everything for us. Angie, good morning.
Morning, ladies. Bearer of bad news today. If you're looking for some relief from the cold and you live anywhere across the Great Lakes in the Northeast, we are already under these alerts right now. 96 million people under cold weather alerts at this hour, and we could potentially see this expand here as the day goes on. Here's where we're sitting right now. We've got 20s and 30s across the Great Lakes, teens for Cleveland, 24 for New York, but check out those wind chill values, just 18 for what it feels like. 18 for what it feels like in Elkins, and single-digit wind chill values in Cleveland this morning. So already dealing with the cold air. And even by this afternoon, we're still going to remain below normal for this sliver of the eastern part of the country. We've got 20s in parts of Maine, 40s for Richmond, 62 in Daytona Beach. The rest of the country, either right about where they should be for this chunk of the country, and then everywhere else, we're running above normal. So we've got the potential to see 70s from Lubbock to Tucson, 80s in San Antonio. But look what happens here as we get into the next couple of days. We've got one half of the country dealing with spring-like conditions and one part of the country dealing with very bitter winter conditions. And this is going to be some of the coldest air that we've seen yet. We've got a clipper system that's going to kind of slide across the Midwest and the Northeast through the day today. By the time that exits, it's going to leave behind it this really bitter cold air from the Arctic and some really strong winds. And those winds are adding insult to injury when it comes to our early morning temperatures tomorrow and Sunday morning. Here's a look at tomorrow. 22 below for the wind chill in Buffalo, 16 below in Pittsburgh.
Gosh.
Yeah, guys, New York -4, 12 below in Detroit. These are all feels like temperatures. This is a look at Sunday morning. You can see even worse in some spots, -38 for Lake Placid. We've got 13 below in wind chill for Boston, 12 below in New York City. And this is going to be kind of settling in for us for at least through the weekend and into early next week. We'll see these winter alerts, though, in the meantime, with some of that snow working through, and those wind alerts, guys, I have to mention those because power outages are going to be possible for some folks. They'll be isolated, but still 40, 50, 60 mile per hour winds with bitter cold. We always get concerned of folks losing power and not having heat and such. So something to watch for through.
I'm worried about pipes bursting. I still have my hair dryer. My hair dryer's in the kitchen underneath the sink, just in case. Just in case I need to thaw something out.
Christine Romans is always prepared.
I'd rather be at the Super Bowl. I'm not going to lie right
you
now.
and me both.
Thanks, Angie.
We thank you for watching, and remember, stay updated on breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or watch live on our YouTube channel.